Mackenzie, and in this video we're going to cover Reese Witherspoon's divorce. We're going to talk about how she had the guts and bravery to make such a difficult choice as to get divorced from her second husband after all of the success she has had, how she could have just stayed in the marriage, but she chose herself, and how we will and might have to make hard choices when we're on the path of embracing who you are fully, and how important it is to make these hard choices, and how even after you become super successful, even after she became so successful, it's still important to stay aware of what's happening in your life, to have true self-love for yourself, to recognize when you need to make a choice, even if it's a really hard choice, to change the path of your life, to keep you on a path of self-love and being able to be yourself and not being mistreated by people in your life. So Reese Witherspoon is, I think, a half billionaire. She has about $500 million. She created the production company Hello Sunshine as Draper James Company. Had her first marriage when she was really young, when she was like 21. She married her first husband, and she had her first two children with, and then he turned out to be abusive. And she's talked about how she, at the first signs of abuse, just completely decided that she needed to get away from him, got divorced, and then she finally found what seemed like the best guy, her new husband. His last name is Toth, and they had this 12-year marriage until she just got divorced recently, and it just seemed like the fairy tale that she finally got. She finally got the good guy, the good marriage. After having such a successful career, she then had the happy family life, but she's a smart woman and she's a high value woman, and she stayed aware of her worth and aware that she, at any point in life, just even with her success, might have to make tough decisions to give up some things, like give up her marriage. In her interview, if you saw it with Melinda Gates, she said, sometimes you realize that you'll never be enough and you say goodbye. And that is what seems like happened. It's completely speculation. And look, this video is just about the stories that we hear in the news about Reese Witherspoon. It's not even about the person really, because we don't know her. And so it's just about improving ourselves and educating ourselves about what we do better with our lives to improve. But anyway, so it seems like in this second marriage, basically, she just was never enough for this husband. And yet she knew she was enough from her amazing career and just knowing who she is inside. And she refused to be treated this way. And so it's just an example of how sacrifices sometimes need to be made to embrace ourselves fully. This sacrifice of hers meant splitting up her family. She has a 10-year-old son with second husband, risking being single the rest of her life, having to go back into dating as a 50-year-old celebrity, which must be so difficult. Nobody wants to go back into dating at any age. And yet she was willing to do this in the name of hoping for a better life for herself, believing in a better life for herself, and thinking things through and not just accepting things as they are. This for you, it might be your career, it might be your skincare routine needs to improve, it might be your gym routine. You need to let go of the old one and start developing a new one, even if it means forgetting everything you knew and starting over, which is going to be really difficult and time consuming. It is committing to ourselves, even if that requires so much sacrifice. It shows that she is committed to her values and not just to external success, not just to what people think of her. Also accepted the reality of being a twice divorced person in the pursuit of authenticity. So that means that she might be looked at differently. She might have different headlines, of course, written about her, but she doesn't care. And we need to be the same when we think about changing our career, when we think about wearing our clothes in a different way than what's normal. We need to prioritize ourselves and our self-love, our authenticity, and not prioritize what other people are going to think. We have to remember life is short, and we have to really be truthful about the experience we're living every single day. She must have recognized that every single day she had a lower quality of life than what she wanted. She was not at her happiness level. And so if that's you in your spirituality, your fitness, your career, relationships, it's recognizing that. And we see Reese's strength, which I just think it's such a great example of her strength to make the decision, her trust in herself, not knowing the outcome, and following through on it. Just goes to show that even though she is one of the most successful women in the USA, it doesn't exempt her from taking the tough choices. And she knew that, and she stayed aware and vigilant and didn't go to sleep on her life such that her life tumbled out of control. No, she was thinking and aware and willing to make hard choices, even when her career, relationship, finances, family life looked perfect. She was staying aware of her internal state and who she really is. She shows the importance of boundaries, no matter what, and the willingness to walk away. Also shows that being kind alone doesn't guarantee an easy life. She is a kind human. She is one of the most kind humans, but she still had an abusive first husband and a second husband that didn't respect her. So we can't just be kind and then hope that everything will work itself out and not stay vigilant. No, she takes complete responsibility of her life and is kind, as well as willing to take responsibility for her life. And look, kind people, if you look at the Count of Monte Cristo movie, you see a kind person who gets destroyed by evil people. He does not have a successful life from his kindness. Success is not derived from kindness. It's derived from intelligence and moving and making pivoting decisions like Reese did. Now she made a pivoting decision. She has the opportunity to have the best marriage relationship that she'll ever have, or that she dreams of. Her dream life is possible because of this hard decision she's making, and yet willing to take on the risk of ending up single forever. I think that's about all I have. I just think this is such a great example of really the truth of what life looks like when we are embracing who we really are and truly committed to our self-love. Thank you so much for watching.